Is the VA paying for illegal immigrant healthcare? And is that taking away from veterans? This is a comment I've seen alarmingly in the last month. So this is something I wanted to address head on. Now, before I give you the answer, what we're going to do is actually look at 3 different articles. Okay, we're actually going to read the headline, then we're going to read the article, which is extremely important, and this video will really tell you why. Okay, do not just read the headlines, understand the information for yourself. So that article is going to be from military.com, kind of in the middle. Then we have one from Fox News. I tried to find one from CNN. I couldn't, at least not one that was recent. And so now we have one from the New York Post, okay? All within this year, 2024. So let's go ahead and dive straight into this, starting with starting with Fox News. So headline, vulnerable Dem Center breaks silence on Biden admin providing veteran medical resources to illegal immigrants. If you read that right off the bat, that would probably make you mad, okay? It's definitely a clickbaity headline there, but guess what? Let's go ahead and read what the article has to say, because all 3 of these, the entire situation really point to one aspect, and that's really what we're going to uncover today, okay? So an effort made by the VA, yada, 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 that ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, process healthcare treatment for illegal immigrants despite a growing backlog of U.S. veterans led to an uproar of several lawmakers, yada, yada, yada. You get the point. So this is really what's going on, all right? Illegal immigrants are getting healthcare, and they're using a system that the VA also uses. But let's dive into that just one level deeper before we start blowing our lids and really understand what's happening. Okay, so it talks about John Tester being silent about ICE's use for for the benefits as claims are being backlogged, right? Very, very clickbaity statements. Now, these statements say the same thing, but let's really dive into what they actually say. So you'll see the Financial Service Center. In this case, it's the VA's Financial Service Center and ICE to process claims for migrant medical care is a long-standing one, meaning it's been happening, okay, since an outline memo of 2022, which was actually during former President Donald Trump's presidency, okay, or administration. And so looking a little bit deeper into this, Tester's office says, so John Tester himself says VA does not provide health care to illegal immigrants. And as chairman of the Senate VA committee, Senator Tester will work to ensure it remains that way. So John Tester is saying the VA does not provide health care to illegal immigrants, okay? Now, again, I'm going to give you the answer at the end of this because I want you to see what happens when you read articles, all right? Crazy concept, you have to read. Let's skip down to this paragraph here. In such cases, ICE contracts with the VA's Financial Service Center, so VA FSC, to process reimbursements to those providers. Okay, so ICE is using the VA's Financial Service Center to process reimbursements to those providers, meaning, you know, illegal immigrant X goes see, you know, the nurse practitioner Y, and that nurse practitioner is going to be reimbursed through the VA's FSC. All right, got it. Now, according to a report from July, ICE has hundreds of letters of understanding in which ICE's IHSC, okay, which is ICE Health Service Corps, will reimburse providers at the Medicare rate. So that nurse practitioner would have gotten a Medicare rate for that visit. All right, good news, or good to know, right? That uses the VA's FSC's healthcare claims processing system. That's what the VA's FSC is. It's a healthcare claims processing system, which is a portal that allows providers to submit and view claims and access other resources. To be very, very clear, this is not a VA claim, all right? It is that healthcare provider saying, hey, VA FSC, I need to be paid. Right? All right. So the VA told Fox News that it had its interagency agreement with the IHSC since 2002, meaning it's been happening. Okay, I don't know what the heck that was, but this has been happening for a while. All right, and those services renders and covers disbursements made to pay those claims for those healthcare providers. Then it goes into a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of mumbo jumbo, and I really want to show you here what this looks like. This is John Tester saying, Montana this, Montana is that. We want a secure border, all of that stuff. Okay, it goes into the backlog, the VA claims, and they're making a correlation between VA disability compensation claims, all right, and these claims from the VA FSC. And then it says the Biden administration created this humanitarian and national security border, right? Very, very politically divided, culturally divided aspects here. And then it says Blackburn sent a letter to the VA questioning the agency of its use of those resources addressed to the VA secretary. And then it says Blackburn rejected the VA's premise that it does not provide health care to those in ICE custody and question whether the agency checks citizenships, yada, 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 yada. Okay. What's crazy about this, the article from Fox News talks about ICE and the IHSC and the VA's Financial Service Center, but it really never answers the question outside of the VA saying we're not doing it and Blackburn saying, I don't believe you. Okay. So now what we're going to do is go to military.com, look at this article, and then transition over to the New York Post and really get to the answer. All right. So this headline is VA paying for migrant healthcare. The agency says no, despite wave of political attacks. And that's a key factor here. Okay. Of political attacks. Well, let's go check it out. So a 22-year-old arrangement, all right, remember we just covered that agreement was from 2002. It's been happening, but the VA officials say it has no impact whatsoever on veteran services or healthcare and costs the agency nothing. And this is the key, folks, okay? It costs the agency nothing. That is the key. Now let's figure out what is military.com talking about whenever they bring up and cost the agency nothing. That's something that Fox News failed to do, okay? So since 2002, it's been happening. And here we go. We have the VA FSC, Financial Service Center, again, talking about processing those medical claims for an ICE program that is responsible for providing health care. So this ICE program is responsible for providing the health care, and how those providers get paid is through VA FSC. But where does the money come from if it costs the agency nothing? Agency meaning the VA. Okay, so the VA is saying it doesn't cost us anything. It's just saying that they have long-standing agreement, yada, yada, yada. What I want to do is scroll down until we get to some meat and potatoes here. So more, right, political attacks, if you will. Until I get the response our veterans deserve, I'll use every available tool of my chairmanship to end this practice and put our veterans first, both said in a statement. Well, what practice if the VA is not doing anything? Okay, if it doesn't cost the VA nothing, meaning money and resources, put what, stop what practice? And so VA officials said Thursday that, and here's the answer to our question. While taxpayer funding is used to process the healthcare claims, ICE, not the VA, pays for the work. Here's the answer to your question, okay? Is the VA giving healthcare benefits to illegal immigrants? That answer is no. It's not VA providers by any means whatsoever. It's not VA funding by any means whatsoever. It is the VA's Financial Service Center, which is a system where providers being paid by ICE, not VA providers, okay? Providers being paid by ICE, which, yes, is still American tax dollars. It's still that pot of money, but it's not the VA's pot of money. So to say that the VA is providing, VA healthcare to illegal immigrants is wrong. It's objectively incorrect. So now what I want to do is jump over to the New York Post just to really show, how these different agencies are covering, news agencies are covering the same story, and you'll really get a feel for what's happening, right? So Fox News definitely has some clickbaity stuff in there, and they almost got to the problem step, but they never told you the answer, which leaves me wondering why. Military.com so far seems very, very straightforward into what that answer is, and hence towards the political attacks, because in my opinion, and I'll give it to you now instead of the end, that's what this is, right? People are creating a problem that does not exist and twisting the truth, right? Kind of like claims consulting companies do. They are twisting the truth to fit that narrative. That's my opinion. I'm sure you can have your own opinion. That's fine. Okay. So VA ripped for helping pay migrant treatment as over 400,000 veterans, their families wait. Obviously, super hardcore clickbait. Okay. We just discovered, according to military.com, that the only thing the VA is doing, which is nothing, is ICE using the VA FSC to process those claims to pay their own providers out of ICE money, which, yes, is still taxpayer dollars, but that has no impact on the VA, right? They're just using the VA FSC. That's it. So we'll do this one quick, right? The VA's Austin, Texas-based Financial Service Center, FSC, has been contracted by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, since 2002. There we go. We hear the same story again, right? Then it talks about FY 2022 FSC processed that many claims with the ICE. Here's the IHSC again, paying about $94.3 million in taxpayer money. Notice how it does not say VA funding, it is taxpayer money. So yes, we're still paying for it, right? The American taxpayers do pay for illegal immigrants and their health care and everything that comes with that, okay? And you're going to find varying opinions about that. All I'm saying is it's not the VA's money. It's just the VA's FSC that's being used to pay these providers that do not work for the VA. So here's your answer to your question. Is the VA providing healthcare to illegal immigrants? That answer is no, okay? Everyone broadcasting that they are is spreading, it's misinformation. It's incorrect. We see 3 articles that talk about VA FSC and the IHSC, and the ICE is essentially just using the system, VA FSC, to process claims that ICE is paying for, okay? Yes, it's still American taxpayer dollars. You can have your own opinion on that. I have my own opinion on that, and I'll keep that private. But for veteran benefits go, what's the uproar about? Okay, you either feed into the political game or you don't. That's a choice that you can make.